Apologies for the late arrival. Better late than never. Gonna give y'all some time to get up in here. What's going on? Pro wrestling fans, good evening to you and yours, wherever you are in the world today. It's Sunday. We're gonna talk about some pro wrestling sports, man. Hopefully you guys have a good time. Last night,
you gotta beat the man.
let's talk about yesterday before we talk about anything.
Right here.
Just people following me. Yesterday was a great day. Obviously, it ended poorly because the stream got taken down towards the end of the stream. But that, my friends, doesn't matter. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. It's just, it was still kind of motivating to see something like that because, you know, I've had 100 people in the stream, you know, before doing a pay-per-view or something like that. But having 3,000 people in a stream at one time was kind of crazy, man. You know, it's always, you know, I told you, I warned everybody that it probably wouldn't be up that long. You know what I mean? So they definitely yanked it out. What's up, Brush? Yeah, sorry, man. It's been a long day, brother. I ain't gonna even lie. I was debating whether I should even get online right now because, you know, I didn't know if my mood would come across on the camera. You know what I mean? You gotta here to entertain you guys and talk about some pro wrestling, so I don't want my real life to interfere with that. So still gotta get these streams in the mix though. Hopefully you're having a good day over there, my guy. You already know what it is, man. Yeah, we gotta talk about some wrestling, man. A whole lot of wrestling happened over the course of the last week. I already did a couple videos I'm gonna upload soon. I'm doing some tier list videos too. I've been working on using that tier maker website that a lot of other content creators use for different things. I've been working on using that and making some content. So hopefully you guys enjoy that when I start dropping that stuff. I love recording it. It's just the editing part that sucks. You know what I mean? And I'm doing all that shit right now by myself because I'm trying to save money. So yeah, man. Yeah, you already know. Been nursing this. How'd you strain your elbow, Gruss? That's crazy. How did you strain your elbow, bro? Not to, you know, delay the wrestling vibes. I'm just interested on how you strained your elbow. Were you actually wrestling? Were you doing some wrestling? That would be crazy. You know what I mean? If you were actually doing some wrestling. You know what I mean? Sound down a little bit. There we go. Hopefully my mic isn't too loud. Yeah, but you strained your elbow. I've never strained an elbow. I mean, my knees are completely destroyed right now. Oh, weight room. True. That makes sense. I've definitely damaged my shoulder in the weight room. I don't know if I've strained my elbow, but I've definitely like had elbow pain after doing a lot of curls and bench presses and stuff where I'm using my arms. So yeah, I know that pain, man. Maybe not to the extent that you got it right now. So get well soon, my guy. You already know what it is. You know what I mean? As long as your eyes and ears still working, you can, you know what I mean, log on. You know what I mean? Appreciate you being here. Shout out to everybody that comes in the stream today. You know what I mean? We about to watch this NBA All-Star game in about an hour and 40 minutes. I don't know if I'm gonna stay. I might stay on. I might just keep the live stream going. I'm not gonna put the game on the stream. Obviously, I already got one community strike. But fortunately, YouTube has a cool system now where you can do like this couple-hour course on YouTube guidelines, and then they'll take the strike away. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that and get that strike off my channel. Hopefully, I don't get no more violations. It was worth the risk, like I put in the community tab earlier. It's definitely worth the risk, worth the strike, just to get that many people visible to my channel. You know what I mean? Got like 30, 40, 50 new subscribers. Maybe more than that. I don't even remember where we were at yesterday. I gotta check. But it was cool, man, to see that many people watching me on the live stream. Hopefully we got some new people that's gonna file in here tonight and check out the stream as well. But yeah, man, where y'all want to start, man? What do you guys want to talk about? I guess we got to start where we got to start, man. The Bloodline saga continues, man. The CODYMANIA saga continues, man. It's a lot of stuff going on in the pro wrestling world. Obviously, last week pushed some stories forward, but there's still a lot of questions to be answered if you ask me. A lot of people were wondering if they were going to answer the question, why did Cody give up his Royal Rumble opportunity and say he didn't want to do it at Mania, then change his mind and blah, blah, blah. I was asking that same question, just like most people. Didn't make any sense. Excuse me, guys. But yeah, it didn't make any sense. So I was just like, what are they gonna do going from here? And they kind of gave us some answers on SmackDown, but they really didn't. You know what I mean? On the last couple SmackDowns, I should say, Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, all the shows. Sorry, I didn't mean to just cough into the mic like that. Um, I just hit a J. You know what I mean? I think I'm just high as hell right now. If you smell what the bloodline is cooking, that is a thing now. You know what I mean? So why did I just start choking once I start fucking streaming? I hate when that happens. Let me get some water over here. We'll get all the answers Saturday morning when they're doing a press conference for the Elimination Chamber now. That's been announced, kind of like the one they did in Vegas for Mania. It's a little bit backwards, but I get it because they're going to be in Perth. Might as well use all the days while you're going to be out there. But it's a lot. For The Rock, The Rock came out last week, or not The Rock, not last week. He came out this week, but last week Seth came out and cut this passionate promo about how he's gonna. I guess it was earlier this week because it was on Raw, but this passionate promo about how Cody made the right decision and he understands why Cody picked Roman and he had to do that and he has to do it for him and the fans and everybody because. Same story. Roman's the absentee champion, and he can't be, led to be able to reign free across, SmackDown and the whole WWE. So somebody got to get him up out of there. I need that. It feels like like I swallowed air. I think because I just cleaned my beard. Well, this sucks. I think I swallowed a hair. I can feel it in my throat and it's itching and I can't get it out. I might have to get up and go try to stick my finger down my throat or something. I'm joking. I'm not gonna do that. But I might have to make some tea or something since we about to be here for a couple hours. I don't want to be over here coughing for 2 hours. Oh my goodness, this feels terrible right now. But yeah, I'm trying to swallow it. Hopefully it goes down. But they came out and Seth was cutting this passionate promo, and it made sense, but it didn't make sense because at the same time, Cody still said that he didn't want to do it at Mania. But a lot of people are trying to assume, that WWE's expecting us to assume. It was kind of implied at the press conference when Cody came out and was like, "This is bullshit." It was kind of implied that he was led astray by The Rock and he was, basically finessed by The Rock, and that's why he came out and was like, "This is bullshit." And so I kind of read between the lines, but you still want them to come out and give an explanation usually. But them not giving clear explanations on certain things, I think what it's doing for them and is giving them an opportunity to go multiple directions if they see fit. Because clearly The Rock came out and he just destroyed everybody on SmackDown this past Friday. It was hilarious. He came out in his Versace vest, a new version of the Versace vest. Yeah, I mean, people say he looked like Ricky Starks. I was like, no, I think we got that backwards. I was like, the disrespect. People been calling Ricky Starks a ripoff of The Rock. Now we gonna say The Rock is ripping off Ricky Starks? That don't make no sense. But he came out and he just tore down. They were in Salt Lake City, so obviously he ran down the Mormons and talked about their 50 wives and all these crazy things. And it was hilarious. It was good. But he went on this tangent about how Cody Rhodes thinks he's just supposed to get this opportunity. That's not how it works. You don't get another chance because you're here or whatever. It was so confusing because it was like, wait a minute, he won the Royal Rumble. I literally tweeted at The Rock as it was happening. I was like, I don't think he's just being entitled. I think he's just. It's because he won the Royal Rumble. What are we doing? What are we doing here? So that didn't really make any sense. There's a bunch of conspiracy theories flying around about Roman possibly betraying bloodline and Roman Reigns and going forward. I mean, it could happen. I love that I don't really know what's going on specifically. And we're being led on these twists and turns. I kind of like that. I kind of like that The Rock is listening. The stories came out, and poor Meltzer. Let's just get that out there right now. I don't even want to say poor Meltzer. I don't fuck with Dave Meltzer. You know what I mean? I think he's an old gatekeeper that, you know what I mean, it's just his time. I think this past week has proved that Meltzer's time has come to an end. You know what I mean? I know he thinks he has all the connections, but he's clearly a puppet. Like that was it. I feel like WWE just used him to make a fool out of him. Like whoever his sources were just played him so viciously. He basically came up with every single scenario you could think of that could be what was going to happen next and why the match turned out to be the Cody versus Roman again instead of Rock versus Roman. He had every scenario out there, and he was still fucking wrong. Yeah, I mean, on how things played out or why things played out. People have had to correct him on whole articles where he's had to go back and do retractions recently. He's just all over the place, and it just looks ridiculous. He just looks ridiculous. I heard people saying, "Oh, Meltzer started this." That mean, man, Vince McMahon started wrestling. Y'all want him back? I ain't think so. You know what I mean? So let's just go ahead with that. Oh, he started it. You know what I mean? He's the reason that, this whole wrestling journalism thing. I don't give a fuck. His old ass is either senile, you know what I mean? He's either senile or he's just, you know what I mean, getting played for a fool, or he's sinister and just telling lies and guessing stuff and trying to be right, which is just crazy. You know what I mean? It's like for him to be in journalism, wrestling journalism, 30, 40, however many years it's been, like, haven't you learned the whole being first isn't being, is not better than being right? You know what I mean? Thing, and he just wanted to have the reason and the story right so bad that he made himself look like a fool. You know what I mean? Multiple times over the same story. Like how you get the same story wrong multiple. It was crazy. It's been a rough week for him. But I didn't mean to go off on a tangent on Meltzer. That just kind of blew me away that he was wrong so many times. But yeah, they're fishing for a way to try to get back on track from the kind of gaffes that they made, and the whole Rocky saying that Cody didn't really deserve didn't deserve the rematch didn't really make any sense, and it just left more logic gaps in the story. And it's just like, come on, man, we glossed over one. Cody saying he don't want to take everything for Roman at WrestleMania when that's literally been the story for 2 years. Like, what are we doing here? You know what I mean? All right. So y'all fixed it. CODYMANIA started. You know what I mean? We want Cody started. You know what I mean? Booing the Rock started. Everything happened, and what we got is what we got. It turned so, okay, we going to forgive that. Oh, you're not going to explain to us what happened? Okay, all right. That's kind of crazy. You know what I mean? That you're not going to explain to us why that happened, or it just seems like such an easy explanation. The Rock told me that he was doing this to take down Roman, and then he goes out there and daps him up and says, we're doing it for the family, and there's only one royal bloodline. I'm like, damn, bro, you just go disrespect me like that after you just, you know what I mean? I just gave you the match that I've been trying to get for 2 years. Like, that didn't, so it was just like the explanation is very simple. So I'm like, why didn't they do it? Instead, they just had The Rock come out there and run down, Salt Lake City and tell some jokes about them, which were hilarious. You know what I mean? Smacking herpes off of people's mouths and shit. You know what I mean? So he was the old Rock, the old Hollywood Rock, had his shades on, and you know what I mean? Told people his sing along with The Rock is over, all the throwback stuff that we love. You know what I mean? From Hill Rock. You know what I mean? But it's still more logic gaps because, all right, he does deserve the opportunity. He more than deserves it. He earned it, you know what I mean, through winning the Royal Rumble again. And he didn't do it from number 30 this time. He did it for, was he 15? He was right in the middle, I think. So that didn't make any sense, and that just left more logic gaps. And it's like, okay, is Rock a stupid heel? Is he just oblivious? He's been in the Royal Rumble multiple times, so I know how it works. Like, I don't understand why he would say that line. Whoever wrote it for him, I know he's got this guy who's writing all his stuff now that travels with him everywhere. That's cool. I think that was just an oversight. I'm sure they may have noticed it afterwards but they still got to clean it up. They still got to clean it up at the end of the day. So I don't know what they're gonna do to try to fix this situation. They got to do something though. That's all that I know. They got to do something. Uh, but am I loving what's going on? I have to say that I am. I'm loving everything that these guys are doing. Um, the only person who's been a casualty of war is Seth Rollins. And I know Seth, listen, Seth Rollins, when he's being serious and he's not in a blouse or, or some heels or just looking absolutely ridiculous, and I can take him seriously, and he's passionate and he's saying some real stuff like his promo against CM Punk, his promo with Cody, recently, some of his promos in, his feud with Cody were great. So he could turn it up to 10 on that mic when he wants to, but, he's in there with some giants, man. Like, I feel like Cody's better on the mic than Seth. Roman's better on the mic than Seth. The Rock is better on the mic than Seth. And he's just getting that press conference. It just started bad. It just went all downhill from there. And Seth has been trying to save face since then. And now he wants to help Cody Rhodes. He's nobody better equipped to be your shield. It's like, okay, bro, don't you got your own title to defend? What happened to your title defense? Like, now it seems that you're like a background player to the big feud, the main feud. You're supposed to be trying to main event one of the nights. I'm not even sure that's going to happen, but they've been, they did do that whole commercial, the WrestleMania 40 commercial with, Rock and Roman going heads up against Cody and Seth, and it looked like they're setting up a tag team match, but we haven't had anything announced yet, so it still could be whatever. I'm hoping that it doesn't end up being a tag match because I don't want to see those guys wrestle both nights. Honestly, it's too big of a risk for injury. You got Roman Reigns in there, you got The Rock in there. Anything can happen at any time. And what if somebody gets hurt on night one? Your entire main event, the story that you've been building all this time to, is completely dead 24 hours before it's supposed to happen. And then what do? You know what I mean? So it's just like, I don't think that risk, and I know, they're going to have a couple matches before. That's fine. I get that. But wrestling 2 nights back to back, if you make it to WrestleMania and nobody's hurt, there's no point in taking that risk and risking the biggest match. And maybe I just, am traumatized because there's so many injuries going on, and I didn't get the match I really wanted Seth Rollins to be in against CM Punk. Maybe that's what it is. But I'm just like, wrap these guys in bubble wrap, man. People getting hurt left and right. I just don't think it's a great idea. Plus, I don't think I need to see The Rock wrestle twice or wrestle. I don't think I need to see Cody and Roman and Seth wrestle. I don't think The Rock will wrestle twice, obviously. But all the other 3 guys would be wrestling twice. You know what I mean? I'm sure Seth's still going to get his title match. Whoever he fights in the Elimination Chamber, whoever wins the Elimination Chamber, unless they're going to fight for the U.S. title or the IC title, which could be a thing. You know what I mean? But that chamber is stacked. You're going to have that stacked chamber fight for the mid-card titles? I know Gunther is the man. I get it. But I'm still not having the chamber winner fight for a mid-card title. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? It just don't feel right. They should get the shot at the other world heavyweight title. But it is what it is. KG, and what's cracking, my guy? See you slid up in here, bro. Good to see you, my guy. Yeah, man. So I don't know, man. Actually, I'm gonna go before we really get popping. We've been in here, we talking now. Hold on, I'm gonna go turn on this teapot. Let me turn on this. Hold on. Make some tea real quick. Choking to death. Oh man. But yeah. So it's the story is where it's at now. So now tomorrow on Monday Night Raw, I'm not sure if anything's gonna happen. I'm not sure if The Rock's gonna be around for a couple weeks, 2-3 weeks. I'm not sure when his next scheduled appearance is. I really have no idea. You know what I mean? So maybe we'll see him after the Elimination Chamber, because Elimination Chamber is this coming weekend, right? Damn, and that show is like, it's at like 3 in the morning or something crazy. I don't even know, but it's early, bro. It's crazy. I'm gonna try to stay up and watch it live and do the watch along, just because I know a whole lot of people won't be. So might be able to take advantage of that opportunity here on the YouTubes, but I might pass out myself. You know what I mean? So we'll see. Guarantee the guy who you muted last night reported the channel last night. Oh, I mean, possibly. I mean, it's possible. I mean, I don't really care. I mean, I wasn't tripping. I wasn't tripping. I feel bad for the people who was watching the stream and that actually needed to watch the stream that weren't able to finish watching the slam dunk contest, even though it was complete garbage. You know what I mean? It's like that was ridiculous. You know what I mean? I hope this All-Star game is better. The 3-point contest was fun. You know what I mean? But the dunk contest was complete. Man, that was a sham. I don't know. Jaylen Brown, I don't even like watching. I don't even want to watch him play no more after that performance. Like, it's like, damn, bro, I know you good, but dang, man, that was terrible. But yeah, he might have. I mean, whatever. I don't want people coming in here. I mean, what's the point of coming to somebody's stream and telling them to stop talking? Like, I don't, like, like, you just want to troll? Like, I'm not about to sit here and argue back and forth with people and you know what I mean? It's like, I could because I'm good at that, you know what I mean? But I got enough going on in life. I want to have fun when I do this. You know what I mean? It's like, I want to be with, and talk wrestling with my guys, and you know what I mean? People who want to talk wrestling, not people trying to start. That's just somebody trying to antagonize you so they can get a reaction, and my reaction is just not let them do it. So, but you're probably right. I ain't really think about that, you know what I mean? Because I was just thinking they were going to take it down anyway, but he could have, you know what I mean, reported the stream. You know what I mean? At least made them aware of it, so then they took it down, I guess. Whatever. Who cares? We'll see. Yeah, they was trying to get McClung up out of there. He was doing what they. Well, I mean, if they was really trying to have him lose, they would have had Toppin win. If they was really trying, but anyways, but this story is where it is right now. I'm interested to see where they're gonna go. The Rock, my tea's almost done. The Rock really isn't. Yeah, I mean, scheduled to be on a show in a while. Roman Reigns barely shows up as it is. I wouldn't be surprised if because he's not going to be in Perth. So he's definitely probably not going to be on SmackDown this Friday because why? They came and made their point this past Friday, so I don't see him being on SmackDown this coming Friday. And the following Friday, maybe, I don't know what's going to happen. So they need to figure out what they're going to do with Seth Rollins because Seth Rollins has been the biggest casualty of this entire situation, man. Like I said, you know what I mean? I'm not a huge fan of Seth Rollins. Like, I try to be. They try to make him this baby face, but he's a heel, and he just seems like a very he's very pretentious, very I'm better than you. He just gives off these weird vibes, and he just seems like a geek from South Dakota in real life. You know what I mean? And it's just like, why are you all? Because he goes out in these places, he really just be shooting on people just who didn't do nothing to him. You know what I mean? He talking about how, he could probably do UFC, and yeah, I probably do better than CM Punk. And I mean, I know they're building a feud. I get it. I'm not being worked. I get that. But he's always, even what he did, remember what he did with Will Ospreay? Yeah, let's compare bank accounts, buddy. Like, bro, you corny. You know what I mean? It's like it went downhill from there for him. But he's always saying some stupid stuff or just saying some stuff like, "Oh yeah, I'm better than these people at this. I'm better." Like, bro, you would get your ass whooped in UFC just like CM Punk did. Like, let's be serious. You know what I mean? And he was like, "Yeah, the UFC guys probably couldn't pro wrestle," and I'm like, man, it's just how he comes off to me, and I hate how he dresses, and his laugh is a heel laugh, and it's like, it's how are you trying to be a baby face, but I get it, you're on the baby face side, but every time you laugh, it's just like he's a bad guy. It's like I hate his laugh, and yeah, he's just like not interesting. Like Roman is interesting, you know what I mean? Let me go get this tea. I know that's loud in the back. Hold on. Oh my goodness. Hot tea. Oh shit. Hold on. Where's my- Yeah, but back to Seth Rollins and back to hating on Seth Rollins. Nah, I'm joking. Nah, but I ain't hating on Seth Rollins, man. I just think that he's not, you know, Grush said he's boring. I would agree with that. You know what I mean? He doesn't have, I mean, his matches are kind of boring too. You know what I mean? I've been working on a lot of content. I'm trying to figure out how to do it. I don't want to keep saying that, but I like literally have scripts written. I did a whole script about why Seth Rollins is not hot shit, and I got to record it and stuff. But his matches are pretty much the same thing every time. He's the new Five Moves of Doom guy. Yeah, I mean, he moves a lot faster than John Cena used to, and I know he does more athletic moves than John was doing. Was doing strongman moves, but Seth got five moves. He do what he do he do the suicida, he do suicide dives all day. He gonna give you three or four of those every match. He does the I got them all listed here. He'll throw, obviously he got the stomp as his finisher. He'll do the pedigree. He'll do the it's that move that him and Finn Balor do. I can't think of it right now. And he'll do a frog splash. Like all the moves you're gonna see, all the main moves you're gonna see. It's the same exact match every time, and it's just like, all right, man, yeah, you're a good wrestler, you know what I mean? But when you come out and you're talking to Will Ospreay, you know what I mean, talking about how you're the best in the world and all these, and you know what I mean, and you're talking like you're the big dog in WWE when Roman could just come out on the mic and lambaste you and embarrass you and make you look like Sun. Like the way you be talking in these interviews and shooting on people and situations just be kind of crazy to me. The sling blade and the Falcon Arrow. Thank you. Those are his moves. You know what I mean? You include his finisher, he got six moves. You know what I mean? You got to include the finisher. So he got six moves that he does because I include the frog splash, even though it's not his. He does it every match. You know what I mean? It's like you getting the same moves. He don't switch it up none. He don't, you know what I mean? It's just like, I'm good on Seth Rollins, man. You know what I mean? I appreciate his passion during certain promos and him tying stories together when he can and, filling in when he can and wrestling when he's injured because I got a lot of respect for wrestlers who go out there, you know what I mean, with hurt limbs and still, still do their thing. But I'm not a Seth Rollins guy, man. And he's just been made to look really crazy during this entire feud. You know what I mean? Roman Reigns just destroyed him multiple times. And then he comes out and he's trying to be security for Cody Rhodes. It's just like, all right, bro. You know what I mean? But, KGM said let him cook. I mean, I ain't got no choice. He gonna come out, you know what I mean, in a purple and yellow blouse, you know what I mean, on Monday. And he gonna, do his thing. Hopefully they tell some stories. Hopefully his shoes don't have bows on them. I'm just trolling, but still, it's hard to take him seriously sometimes. Like you can't talk tough. Like, I mean, I don't care if you can whoop my ass. Like, you still can't talk to me tough if you're wearing, you know what I mean, the outfits he be wearing. Because I'm not going to take you serious. You know what I mean? That might be to your advantage. You know what I mean? But still, I'm just going to be get no respect. This is a combat sport. Why are you coming out here in blouses and shoes with bows on them? Like, what are we doing here? But yeah, man, this whole saga has been fun, man. It's been a fun roller coaster. There's been a couple major mistakes, really just two. And and like I said earlier, they cleaned up. Well, they didn't really clean it up. We gave them a pass on the first one, on the situation at the press conference and Cody giving up his spot for no apparent reason, like he didn't win the Royal Rumble. But then they come out and Rock makes it seem like Cody didn't win the Royal Rumble and he doesn't deserve the rematch against Roman Reigns on SmackDown. It's just like, all right, man, all right, stop insulting our intelligence. We just watched the Royal Rumble. Does it not count? Like, what are we doing here? You know what I mean? So, hopefully we get more explanation on Monday and they try to clean that up. But I doubt they will. They'll probably just, slide past it and, hopefully we're watching with rose-tinted glasses and we're just excited because WrestleMania is coming and we don't really pay attention because The Rock is around and all these different things. But I'm paying attention. Everybody's paying attention to every detail of this story. That's how we want Cody happened, because people, I mean, Elon Musk tweeted it. I mean, I'm not sure if it was, hyperbolic or anything like that, or just in jest, but you had people who don't even watch wrestling on a regular basis tweeting that shit. You know what I mean? It's like, we want Cody and all these different things, and people you wouldn't imagine doing it. So, and they got the most disliked video in the history of their company. After all of the videos they've done some wild stuff. You know what I mean? Some terrible things. And this is the most disliked video they've ever had when they had that press conference. So, we'll see where the story goes, man. We'll see where the story goes. I'm interested to see where things go. Let's talk about something besides the bloodline, though. Talk about the bloodline for like 30 minutes. Let's talk about something else besides the bloodline. Let's talk about this whole Scott D'Amore situation, man. What's going on over there in TNA, or it's Impact? It was Impact, now it's TNA, formerly Impact. It's a lot going on over there, man. So the whole TNA roster, apparently, listen. What I need in my life, that's hot. What I need in my life is a woman that loves me as much as the TNA roster loves Scott D. That's what I need. You know what I mean? Because these folks really, okay, so if you don't know the story, the company that owns TNA, somebody could throw the name of the company in the chat. I'm not about to go digging for stuff. I don't have everything pulled up. But the company that owns TNA fired Scott D'Amore. Now, there's some sinister stuff that's just come out. I'm not even sure whether to believe it or not. You know what I mean? Tommy Dreamer's in Scott's position. That would be kind of crazy. But I'm not sure what's going on. I'm sure stuff will come out about that. But yeah, so he got fired, and obviously this is the guy who's built TNA up to what it is. Like, TNA feels relevant again for the first time. They just had their women's champion in the Royal Rumble. Naomi was over there. One of the biggest WWE superstars was over there and holding the women's championship for forever, it seemed like, while she was over there. So they've been getting, some wrestlers that WWE has let go of have been going over there and making names for themselves and bringing more shine to the brand. So, they rebranded. There's this new energy around them. They got all these new belts, beautiful belts, by the way, all these new belts, and it feels like everything's headed in the right direction. That's what it felt like to someone who doesn't even really watch TNA or Impact. Or I watched one Naomi match. I think I watched the title match with her and Deonna Purrazzo. And I was like, okay, it's decent show. I get that they're doing their thing. But I got a lot going on. I can't watch all wrestling. But so the company seemed like it was doing okay. And I was rooting for him, honestly. And then this happens, and it seems like, all those, every time a story came out about Vince McMahon, or every time there was a mass firing at WWE, and you hear all these stories from Sapp and Meltzer and all these people about the locker room morale just plummeting, to nothing. It kind of feels like that's what happened. Well, it doesn't kind of feel like that's what happened. That's exactly what happened, because they said that's what happened. The locker room wasn't happy. I don't think pro wrestling fans of TNA were happy, because everyone, I was confused. I didn't understand why. I don't think anybody really understood why. I'm sure a lot of stuff. Well, the story that came out is just that their vision for where the company should go just wasn't, it wasn't aligned. And Scott offered to buy the company. They didn't sell it to him for whatever reason. I don't know all the details on that, but it could be, there's a lot of things that could be involved. Let's see if you guys know some stuff about this. Are you going to be live for Chamber? Yes, absolutely. I'll be here live for Elimination Chamber. What's going on, Rocky Winter? Thanks for sliding in here, my dude. TNA will be sold by 2025. Maybe. Could be. Who will buy TNA? Tony Khan. Tony Khan. That's my first guess. He buys all the wrestling that, WWE doesn't own already. I feel like Tony Khan is about to buy New Japan. He's one step from owning the biggest promotion in Japan. It feels like that. Because New Japan is just losing everybody. Rocky Romero's even working in the office with AEW. But back to TNA. So the locker room is, soon as this happened, there was a flood of tweets and whatever social media posts about Scott and how they missed him. Even Naomi was saying stuff about how good he was when she was there and all these different things. And everybody just seemed really disappointed about the decision. Everybody was confused because of all the reasons I just said. The company was doing good. And yeah, apparently, hold on, let me see if I can find this. Let's see if I can find this. Let me do a search real quick. Here it is. And Anthem is the name of the company that owns TNA. Yeah, so here's the letter that they wrote in support of Scott D'Amore. And this is from a collective of the TNA locker room. And this is, I don't know if this has ever happened before. It's definitely never happened for like Vince McMahon. I mean, why would anybody that got fired under Vince McMahon get some like, I mean, maybe Stephanie like would be, but she quit. It's not like she got fired. I don't think anybody was doing that for Shane or anybody like that. Or, you know what I mean? So it's just like, I can't recall this ever happening where a whole locker room, it's cool. It's actually pretty cool to see. I don't think this will happen. Well, Tony Khan can't get fired. It's his shit. But yeah, I don't think this will happen for anybody else. So it tells me a lot about Scott D'Amore, honestly. So this is a letter to Endeavor. I guess we got time. I ain't going nowhere. We got how much? Oh, we got another hour before the game starts. So I'm gonna read this letter. We'll do it. Let's go. So it says Lynn and Scott. I guess those are the people that own Endeavor, the top guys over there. It says TNA/Impact is not just our employer and the company for which we work. It is a family that each of us has grown to love and cherish and trust with our bodies and our careers, a family for which we feel deeply and that desire above all else to protect. We are deeply saddened by the decision to remove Scott D'Amore from the TNA Impact family. Scott is a brilliant wrestling mind that has guided this company and has positioned to, and has it positioned to take the next step upward in our industry. Scott is also so much more than this. He is a trusted friend, confidant, teacher, advisor, brother, and mentor to so many within the TNA Impact family. Scott has been the heart of the TNA Impact family for over 2 decades. Lynn and Anthem have been instrumental in supporting and building this company back from the ground up. The contributions of Lynn and Anthem have never gone unnoticed by anyone in the company, and we want to make sure that Lynn knows this. This is well done. TNA, simply put, would not have survived without Lynn and Anthem. This is how you try to get your way. I ain't gonna even lie. I'm already like, man, just give them what they want. Goes on to say, not just financially, but with the undying faith in Scott and us to revive the company that was on the brink of death. Lynn and Anthem are the foundation that TNA has been able to build upon. We would not have made it back to this point without both of you. The fans know this, and the TNA family knows this. That's not all of it. So like I said, that's a good way to get your way. It's good that they acknowledged whoever they're trying to get something from and their role. This seems extremely sincere and genuine. And from somebody who doesn't really support, I can't say I'm a TNA supporter. It's not like I buy TNA wrestlers merch. This makes me want to support them if he's running the show. You know what I mean? I don't know why. It just feels good to support an actual good wrestling promoter who's a decent human being. You know what I mean? So after what we've had for so long, let's not get into that. But they go on to say, we come to you to voice our concern for TNA Impact, our family, and its future and direction. We, like you, wish to safeguard what we have all worked and sweat and bled for to build. We want TNA Impact to continue to grow and to continue to be an invincible place for all professional wrestlers to work. Enviable place, place for all professional wrestlers to work. We understand and appreciate that professional wrestling at its core is a business and that the company must provide a fiscally responsible, financially viable product. Using all the big words. At the same time, professional wrestling is uniquely situated. The business of professional wrestling is so much more than balance sheets, downloads, and ratings. The wrestling business is and must be its people, its characters, and its storylines. I do not disagree. That is to say, there is no wrestling business without the wrestling creative vision and the right people bringing the creative vision to life. To thrive, a wrestling company must have both an eye towards business decisions and its fingers on the pulse and creative decisions and the ever-changing appetite of our fans. It is in light of this concern and our desire to uphold the high standards of TNA Impact that we offer this letter. It is our desire to have a dialogue with you and with the company in an effort to protect the present and the future of TNA Impact for you, for Anthem, for the fans, and for the professional wrestlers. We feel strongly that a wrestling person needs to be intimately involved at a high level to ensure that the amazing company we have all built and protects we have provided to our fans continues to grow and flourish. It is our opinion that the best possible person for that role was, is, and will be Scott. We recognize that we do not necessarily know all the facts or details around the decision to remove Scott. In life, there is always the rumors, the opinions, and somewhere in between the truth. We rarely get to know which is which. It remains our hope and desire that everyone can set aside the past few days and any hurt feelings or unkind words that may have been exchanged and meet to discuss a path forward that preserves the TNA Impact family we all hold so dearly. Finally, we remain steadfast and hopeful that this letter can be a first step to opening and keeping open productive lines of communication to ensure the TNA Impact family continues to be a wonderful, unique place to work for years to come. We ask and implore you both to come together and create a resolution that will reunite this family once again. We look forward to hearing from you and continue this dialogue. Signed, your TNA family. That was a very well done letter. If you're going to ask something from somebody, I don't know if you could have done it any better than what they did. I'm not sure who wrote this exactly, but it's a very well done letter, man. And why, I mean, at this point, why wouldn't you just hire him back? Just hire the guy back. I mean, it almost feels like the whole Rock showing up and taking Cody's spot thing. Like, why'd y'all do that? Like, nobody asked for that. Why'd y'all do that? And now it feels like they might have to go back and fix their mistake, or maybe, as the TNA locker room is already identified, maybe they're just focused on business 100%. And they're like, hey, we have different vision. This guy isn't going the same direction we want to go. We have a certain vision. He's up out of here. We don't really care. Y'all work for us. What y'all want to do? You know what I mean? So until y'all contract is up, y'all going to have to do what y'all want to do. Now, Scott being in charge of creative leaves a big hole. I mean, there's storylines going on. They got a lot of stuff going on over there in TNA. Like you said, the company's being revitalized, so it leaves a big hole in the company. Now, there's been rumors. I'm not 100% sure how these rumors, if these rumors are true or not. I'm going to see if I can find some on it real quick. I'm not sure if these rumors are true, but we're gonna talk about it because there's been an update, and it's coming from PW Insider. Let's take it with a grain of salt, guys. You don't know. We had a whole rant, but let's not get back on that. Um, Busted Open Radio, Tommy Dreamer stated that he is not TNA Wrestling's head of creative and is still part of the creative team with Robert Evans and Delirious. I don't know who Delirious is. Um, so this was obviously the mistake that I mentioned earlier from Meltzer, where he had to go back and do it an entire retraction. PW Insider reports that Ariel Scherner will be overseeing TNA content going forward, working with new TNA president Anthony Cicione, however you say his name. Sorry. PW Insider writes that it will be Sheener, who will have the last word on any talent and creative decisions, although Cicione will be the top of the pyramid. That doesn't really make any sense. How are you the guy at the top of the pyramid, but you don't get to make the final decision? Okay. With Scott D'Amore gone from the company, TNA Wrestling has a new head of creative. Tommy Dreamer is now the head of creative, as meeting expected with D'Amore gone. Dave Meltzer reported in the Wrestling Observer newsletter. He was wrong. If anybody, he was very, very wrong. So Tommy Dreamer had to come out and tell him to X that. So it's just interesting how all these things are playing out. I for one am hoping that that this isn't true, because this feels like some snake stuff, and I don't think you want to put Tommy in that position, because then you're gonna have the whole locker room looking at him crazy. Like, man, we want Scott, bro. I mean, he could play the card like, man, what y'all want me to do? Yeah, I mean, y'all want me not to take the pay raise and all this. Do y'all want somebody y'all don't know? Don't y'all want a wrestling person in charge of? Like, so he could play that card. You know what I mean? Which probably be his best bet. But I don't want he's, for all intents and purposes, Tommy Dreamer seems like a very good guy. You know what I mean, behind the scenes. So I would hate for him to get all that heat backstage unnecessarily. Unless he's doing some sinister stuff, then the heat is, it's all warranted. But I for one hope that the locker room, just for morale purposes, when people are feeling better, they work better. And you want to keep the energy and the vibes going that TNA has right now. You know what I mean? You want to keep those vibes going because everything was looking up. And then for this to happen, I think it just popped, took a little air out of everybody's balloon, you know what I mean, for lack of a better term. Gruss says, sell it back to Dixie Carter. No. Would she want to make Hulk Hogan champion? Pass. Pass. Hard pass. I think, if anything, like, it should be some maybe not somebody too young, but somebody young in their 40s with the energy and the mental, or the experience, I should say, to deal with these type of new wrestlers, you know what I mean, and new personalities and different things like that. Things where people like Vince and all these old guys, they didn't really get, people. Times are different and people are changing and all these different things, and they're still stuck in their ways, so they don't really know how to talk to people and all these different things. So I don't know what they should do, honestly. I'm not into TNA that heavy. This story's been all over the news, and I really wanted to cover it because I've never seen anything like this before. As I said before, a whole locker room writing a letter, very well, doesn't sound like professional wrestlers wrote it. And no offense, that was ridiculous of me to say. It's probably better educated pro wrestlers than me, so I don't even want to make it sound like that. But it just sounds like something a writer would write, like a professional writer would write. But they did a good job, and I think they should get what they want. If they want Scott, give them Scott. It's the whole locker room. It's not like there's a let's go Scott side and no we don't side. You know what I mean? It's not like it was at the we hate Rocky, no we don't, or we want Cody, no we don't. It's not like that. It's everybody, we want Scott. You know what I mean? There's no other people coming out, anonymously saying actually that we don't want Scott back. I haven't seen anything like that, so I think that they should just, Yo, that'd be crazy, Gruss. That would actually be nuts if Shane McMahon bought TNA. I think that's a great idea. I think for the person I just described, like somebody in their 40s, I don't know if he's 50. Nah, he's not 50 yet. He's in his 40s, I would assume. Yeah. So maybe he's in his 50s. I'm not sure. How old is Shane McMahon? Now I'm curious. Now I want to know. Hold on, let me see. Oh, man. Somebody probably gonna answer me in the chat before find it. Hold on. Oh, he is in his 50s. He 54. Yeah, he full gray. I just be forgetting because he's liable to jump off of some high shit at any point. You know what I mean? He's still a psychopath. You know what I mean? So he's still throwing them rabbit punches and potatoing people like he's a, crazy person. But, that would actually be crazy. I feel like, he knows the business in and out, obviously. I think it would be good for TV, but maybe the McMahon name isn't what it used to be. Maybe let's just throw that out there. The McMahon name might not be what it used to be. So I know it's not his fault. He didn't do anything specifically that would get him banned from pro wrestling. He's actually went to battle with his father over certain things, so maybe that'll get him some points with, people he tries to do business with. He can always play that card, but who knows? But I actually don't hate that idea. I don't hate that idea at all. You know what I mean? And then maybe we can get Impact versus WWE. They're already working together. Maybe we get a whole new invasion angle. That would actually be kind of cool. I ain't gonna lie. That would actually be kind of cool. If Shane McMahon bought, it's just regurgitating a story we've already seen, but it was a really cool story. And the time they did it, it sucked. But the idea of the story was great. But when the NWO comes over like 6 years later, and then you only got like the jobbers coming over to do the invasion. They're just all getting beat up by Stone Cold Steve Austin. It's just like, this ain't no invasion. Get these guys out of here. Who are these people? You know what I mean? It's like, so it was what it was. I don't know, man. I don't know what they should do. I think they should figure out something. My personal opinion is hire Scott D'Amore back, but Shane McMahon's not a bad call, brother. I got to give you that one, man. Shane McMahon is not a bad call. What else we going to talk about, man? We still got a lot of time here, man. Let's talk about something else. The Elimination Chamber matches are kind of set, man. What y'all think about these Elimination Chamber matches? They kind of loaded. I ain't going to lie. These Elimination Chamber matches are pretty loaded. Who's on the men's side? Who's on the let me pull this up. Let's see who's in the matches right now. Let's see. So far the men's match is full, is booked after this past week SmackDown. So we got Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton, surprisingly Bobby Lashley, because I thought that Big Bronson Reed, being from Australia, would get in that spot. It was kind of like, all right, it's obvious who's going to win that one, even though it's Bobby Lashley. It was like these were competitive. It wasn't like they put these guys up against jobbers. You know what I mean? It was like competitive match. It made it kind of dope. I ain't going to lie. You know what I mean? That some big-time guys had to take L's in this situation. But Bobby Lashley earned his spot. LA Knight earned his spot. Kevin Owens is in it, and Logan Paul is in it. I'm cool with Kevin Owens being in it. I feel like I don't know who, maybe this was CM Punk's spot. Or maybe Logan Paul is in CM Punk's spot. Who knows? Maybe Bobby Lashley is in CM Punk's spot. I don't know. But Kevin Owens could do a lot of things. You know what I mean? He could be doing, but keeping him in the world title picture makes a lot of sense. He's Kevin Owens. He's amazing. So I get it. Yeah, Bronson Reed did get done a little dirty. He got treated like Vince used to treat people. Like, you either going to lose in your hometown. And it seems like they usually try to get people over in their hometown. Like, that's your one chance to see. I know it's not a real pop, but when other people see your hometown reacting to you like that, if he went out there and just got this 50,000 people and the roof blew off when Bronson Reed came out, I know he's a heel. Who cares? You know what I mean? But just to see that reaction, that might make other people in other countries who are watching it live on TV or whatever, recorded on TV, whatever, it might make them get into it, get into him a little bit more. So I just think it was a missed opportunity. I don't think Kevin Owens needed to be in there. No one believes Kevin Owens is going to WrestleMania to challenge Seth Rollins or whatever. I just don't think that's happening. So maybe just, that's probably the only thing I would change. Maybe Logan Paul not being in his match. I know you probably want to get that story cracking with LA Knight, and it's a pretty good place to do it. Have LA Knight pin Logan Paul or Logan Paul pin LA Knight and then they could kick off their little feud going into Mania. That could actually work as well. Yeah, and so I'm looking forward to the men's match because this is loaded. This match is loaded, man. I have a good idea of who's gonna win, but I could be wrong because if my first pick would be Drew McIntyre because he's Drew McIntyre and he's been doing the best work of his career these last few months since CM Punk came back and he's turned heel and all. This is the best Drew McIntyre I've ever seen. So, but it could also be Randy Orton because Randy Orton's Randy Orton. And, maybe they want to get him closer to the 16th time. You know what I mean? He's only a couple away. A more likely scenario will be for LA Knight to win because he's one of the hottest wrestlers in all of professional wrestling. So I could see them putting him in the main event of WrestleMania. So I could see these things happening. And then I feel like if someone besides Drew McIntyre wins, maybe it won't be the main event of WrestleMania. But they'll still call it the main event. You know how they do, but it'll be the first match on the card instead of the last match on the card or something like that. Because we've seen Seth Rollins open WrestleMania before against Brock Lesnar, I think it was, and Brock got up out of there as soon as the match was done. So, we've seen it happen before. Maybe they'll do it again. And that was after he won the Royal Rumble, I'm pretty sure. So it's happened before. So maybe it happens to a LA Knight or a Randy Orton if one of them happen to win. But I have no idea. When I do my predictions, it's probably going to be Drew McIntyre, but tomorrow could change my mind. Something could happen on Monday Night Raw. It's more likely for something to happen on SmackDown to change my mind because Randy and LA Knight and Kevin Owens, they're all on SmackDown. So and Logan Paul. So if one of those guys changed my mind, it would be on Friday, not Monday. So right now, Drew McIntyre is in the lead from my predictions on the elimination chamber men's match. As far as the women, we got 5 out of the 6 competitors. Now there seems to have been a change in creative for one of the leaked competitors because there was an image that got leaked. It looked like the real deal. It made perfect sense because everything on the image happened except for this one thing. So the women that we got in the match right now are Becky Lynch, of course, Bianca Belair, of course, Liv Morgan, of course. We got Tiffany Stratton, which was cool. I mean, you call her up, she's gonna be a big star. Got to get her in there. Stop it. Listen, man, I'm turning the segment off if that happens, Gruss. I'll just turn the segment off. Naomi. So we got Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan, Tiffany Stratton, and a recently returning Naomi. So another loaded, card. You got the recently relinquished NXT Women's Champion. Tiffany Stratton just got called up. She's hot right now, so get her in there. Some experience with all these vets. Put her next to them. She get the rub. She's automatically a star already because she's already been backstage rubbing elbows with Bianca and the likes of, Jade Cargill this past week. So love to see that. And Naomi, obviously, Naomi's a superstar. You know what I mean? She's a superstar. So, we still got that TBA, though, because it's 6 people. It's 2 people that start, and it's 4 people in the chamber. So you need that 6th person. Who's that 6th person going to be? It was supposed to be Jade Cargill. Now, it still could be Jade Cargill. I don't know. It still could be. But as of right now, the rumors are that she's been taken out of that spot just because maybe she's not ready or they want to find other things to do with her. I'm not 100% sure. But the rumors are she was in, she was on the graphic, and now she's out. She's not on the graphic, even though she's been a recurring character backstage talking to Adam Pearce and all the other GM or whatever. So we'll see what happens with this last spot. Who do y'all think would take it if it wasn't Jade? I want it to be Jade so bad. I want it to be Jade so bad. You know what I mean? Because I just want to see her. I just want to see her wrestle. First of all, I just want to look at her and admire her. She is the perfect female specimen. You know what I mean? Physically. So but I want to see what she can do, man. I'm ready to see what she can do. She wrestled for enough time at AEW. She's not completely green. I know there's a different style in WWE, and she got to move a little slower and make sure she don't hurt nobody and all these. I get it. You know what I mean? Get her right. You know what I mean? So she don't look crazy when she get out there. You know what I mean? But still, I want to see it. You know what I mean? It's the chamber. They can hide a lot of things in the chamber. It's a brutal match. Maybe she ain't want to do that type of match. You know what I mean? Off the rip. So maybe that was the deal. But who knows? I don't know. But who do y'all think would get it if it's not Jade Cargill? I can't really think. Please don't put, a fucking what's the girl from the with Chad Gable's squad? Maxine Dupree. Don't let it be something ridiculous like that. Like you gonna put somebody in the chamber doing. I think there's a battle royal for the last spot. So it's got to be like Shayna Baszler or Nia Jax or even Zoe Stark. You know what I mean? Getting a second chance. Maybe get one of those ladies in there to take the spot. Maybe a Charlotte Flair comes back in 2 months after tearing her ACL. That's not gonna happen. But I heard her recovery is going well. But yeah, Maxine Dupree is the new Dana Brooke. She's nowhere near as good as Dana Brooke. And Dana Brooke was the most cringe wrestler in WWE, one of the most cringe wrestlers in WWE. She's like the white Alicia Fox. Now, Alicia Fox could wrestle a little bit. You know what I mean? She had some talented moves. She could do some stuff. You know what I mean? But yeah, no, Maxine Dupree's worse than all of them. By a country mile. Let's just, yeah. But I don't know who would get this spot, man. I don't know who get. I mean, my top pick would be Nia Jax. You know what I mean? But Nia Jax in a good feud with Jade, guys. That's what y'all want. I mean, it's a WrestleMania match, but it's not a WrestleMania match that people are clamoring for. But they got to fill 2 nights. I think she's gonna wrestle somebody at WrestleMania. There's no reason to have her on TV. They would have introduced her after WrestleMania. The Raw after WrestleMania, she would have made her debut. If she was gonna not be doing anything at WrestleMania, what's the point of debuting her if she's not gonna be at your biggest show and do something? So I don't know. I mean, I think Nia Jax is a good feud for her. She's already made the statement. She picked Nia up, on her shoulder and flexed and everything. It was very impressive. I mean, very, very impressive. She is as strong as she looks. You know what I mean? No question about it. So I genuinely don't really know who they could put her up against outside of Bianca Belair. Like they did their whole little face-off at the Royal Rumble doing the gorilla presses at the same time. So I could see that match happening. That would be pretty dope. Jade is on SmackDown. No, not officially. Not officially, Gruss. I don't think she signed officially. I know Braun Breaker officially signed with Monday Night Raw, but Jade Cargill she was in a business meeting, but I ain't really officially see her sign, I don't think. Maybe I'm wrong, but I ain't really officially see her sign. If she did, tell me I'm wrong. Save Bianca and Jade for next year. I agree with that. You got to build up to that. That's a big time money match. Probably the 2 most athletic women in a division. Honestly, I would probably put Bianca in a 3-way with Rhea and Becky. I don't know how you get there. Obviously, I just don't know how you get there. Maybe they're the last 2, and then they knock each other out cold, and then they just have to call the match, so they both get to face Rhea. I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm just making up stuff, but who knows? I don't really know. But yeah, I agree. They should build up to that match a little bit more. Yeah, we'll see. What else has been happening? What else is happening? There's a lot going on in pro wrestling, but everything just feels like everything is centered around, the bloodline and Cody Rhodes right now. So it's not a whole lot of stuff going on outside of that. Is there any AEW stuff we need to talk about, guys? Like, what's happening over in AEW? Don't watch it as much anymore. Like, very rarely. If it's Wednesday and there's no basketball game that I'm not trying to watch, you know what I mean, or something like that, then I'll tune in. But outside of that, I'm not really watching a whole lot of AEW. No disrespect to AEW. It's just I need them stories. I'm keeping up with the Hangman page and the Swerve stuff. I be watching the clips on YouTube. I keep up with all their stuff. I love what those guys are doing. Hangman's Hill now. I love all that. Swerve is going to be world champion. That's really cool. Samoa Joe's still badass Samoa Joe. So I'll be paying attention. But I know they got like, I ain't watching none of Edge matches in AEW. I think I might have watched his first match in AEW. I ain't seen nothing since. I know Christian's doing great heel work, but it's just like, and he's going up against Edge too. It just don't feel right. It don't. Maybe it's because it's not happening in WWE, and that's where their entire history has been. It just don't feel the same. You know what I mean? So I haven't really. Orange Cassidy hasn't really been doing it. I'm definitely not into BCC as much as I was. I don't even. They're fighting some guys from MLL, or it's not MLW. Whatever. I don't even know what the name of the company is they're beefing with. CMLL. I think that's who it is. And I'm just not interested. You know what I mean? I want to be interested in the women's division because they got Sasha Banks coming in very soon. Obviously, that's a big deal. But the most interesting thing to me that Tony Khan has going on in the women's division is fucking Athena and what's the name? The other Nia Jax. That's messed up. I ain't want to call it the other Nia Jax. But damn, man, I fuck with it. Damn, what's her name, man? Who am I thinking about right now, man? The Beast, Nyla Rose. That's what I was. I was like, her name sound like Nia Jax. It's Nyla Rose. But yeah, Nyla Rose and Athena got the best feud going on. I be watching eight clips, and Nyla Rose is hilarious. I'm sorry. Like, yeah, right, Gruss. I'm not gonna say it because I don't want to get canceled. But yeah, it is what it is. The motherfucker's entertaining as hell. Like, I was one of the best characters on wrestling. I don't even know her character. Character just to be funny and beat up all the girls. Like, which just seems wrong in so many ways. But again, not going there. Just, but yeah, it's crazy because entertaining as hell. You know what I mean? And a very believable champion in that division specifically. It's so hard not to make these jokes. It's not funny. Stop laughing. Stop laughing, Layla. Okay, stop laughing. All right, no more laughing. But no, let me be serious. But Nyla Rose and Athena is my favorite thing going on in the women's division. For real, maybe Sasha Banks will change that. I miss Britt Baker. What did they do with Serena Deeb? She came back on like Rampage, I heard, and said some things. And has anybody seen her since? I don't be watching the show, so maybe they're there and I'm not seeing things. I don't know. Oh man, yeah, I have no idea, guys, really. Prince Nana Dan saved AEW 2023. That you might not be far off. That dance got Swerve over to the next level because he was already over. He was already getting over with the fans. But obviously he had to get all the weird tattooed face guys out of there. It just was too much extra stuff going on around him. Just him and Nana, him with a manager to watch his back, especially when he was a heel, just made perfect sense. They've recently done like a triple turn. Hangman's a heel. Now it's just all confusion now. The Bucks are heels officially, and Hangman's a heel. Now Swerve is kind of being positioned as a babyface. Samoa Joe's being positioned as a tweener. I don't really know what's going on with him, but he's just Samoa Joe. He's always the same character, good or bad. So, we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. So there's some things going on in AEW. It's just not a lot. I want to see them do more with the women's division. I heard they've been having multiple women's matches on the shows, which is new. Toni Storm. Let me shout out Toni Storm. Toni Storm is fucking amazing. That woman is fucking amazing. I don't even know where all this came from. You know what I mean? I saw it from the beginning stages, but I didn't know she had this in her. This is full blown like remember the old black and white, I don't even remember the dudes, Charlie Chaplin videos. It reminds me of that type of stuff. Like she could just be talking, they could mute it and just have the words on the bottom and it had the little circus music in the back and it would still be hilarious. Just based on her mannerisms and how she moves and different things like that. But Tony Storm has been killing it. So there's some good things going on over there at AEW that I'm interested in. I'm really interested to see what they do with Sasha Banks. So it is what it is, man. AEW is very random, Gruss, and that's why it's hard to like stay into it. Like I know what I'm tuning in to watch on Monday and Saturday. Like I know what stories I'm looking to watch for. You know what I mean? On Mondays and Fridays, excuse me. So it's like, yeah, I know I'm looking for more of the Cody, Seth, and all this stuff, and what's happening with the Chamber. And Fridays, I know I want to be interested in what's gonna happen, what the Bloodline gonna do, and what's Paul Heyman gonna say, and what's Drew McIntyre, and all these people. I know what I'm looking forward to on these shows. AEW, you see somebody not 1 week and then they'll be on Rampage or something the next week and they won't be on Dynamite or vice versa. Everybody's the roster's so loaded, everybody's not on the show consistently except for like the top guys, the top 15 guys are usually there. So it's a little harder to follow, man. You know what I mean? I like some of the new people they got. They just signed what's her name, Queen Aminata. You know what I mean? I like her. You know what I mean? Very beautiful. You know what I mean? Black woman. You know what I mean? Appreciate her. You know what I mean? Hope she does well. But they've been doing some things, man. Eddie Kingston, he's just not. I don't look at Eddie Kingston as a champion. I'm sorry. He just looks like the homie. You know what I mean? It's like he looks like the homie. I feel like the championship would look better on me. You know what I mean? It's like I wear nice suits and shit. Like I get it. Like be different. That's Eddie Kingston. I get it. But it's just like at the same time, you know what I mean? It's like at the same time, you know what I mean? You ain't got to switch up who you are, you know what I mean, to clean up who you are, if that makes any sense. You know what I mean? Just as far as the presentation and being a face of the company. And, you know what I mean? If you look like you trying to do business and get money, you know what I mean? It's like you can go in like, yeah, just accept me how I am. It's not how it works in the real world. So just for, those who may not know, you know what I mean? Sometimes you have to conform. Don't change who you are at your core. Don't sacrifice your morals and principles, unless it's a whole lot of money. I'm joking. That was a joke. But sometimes you have to work with people. You have to meet people in the middle. And sometimes people don't understand that, and it holds them back a little bit. I think that might be the case for Eddie Kingston. As much as people love him, it's hard to look at him and be like, yeah, I want to be just like that guy who looks like he stands outside the corner store with Newports and a 40 in a brown bag. I want to grow up and be just like that guy. Yeah, it's like, I know you got the belt and all, but that's just not the vibe I get. So, but there's been all kinds. You also want to grow up to be like a bad guy champion. You know what I mean? You don't want to be a douche like Roman Reigns either. Just because someone holds the belt doesn't mean there's supposed to be some role model or something. I understand that. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, you know what I mean? As far as the baby faces are concerned, the whole John Cena, Cody Rhodes theory, you know what I mean, is that would be the case. He's the Bodega champion. That would be an awesome name. They got the FTW championship. That might as well be the Bodega championship. It's made by a New Yorker. You know what I mean? It's like held by a New Yorker. You know what I mean? Might as well call it the Bodega championship. So Okada's on his way to AEW. That's fun. You know what I mean? One of my favorite wrestlers in the world. I will put him in my top 20. You know what I mean? If I had to put him in top, I'll put him in my top 20. You know what I mean? Will Ospreay is number 1. Been watching this channel long enough, you know that. When Shawn Michaels retired, you know what I mean? There was really nobody. There was Randy Orton, like Randy Orton and Batista kind of filled that gap for me. It's like my favorite wrestler. I'm not saying they were the best wrestler. At some points they were. Let's be serious. But those were my favorites. You know what I mean? Transition, and then I discovered Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega and all these guys and everything I saw. I've never seen a bad Will Ospreay match in my life. I've watched a lot of them at this point, and I've never seen a bad one. And most of them are great. He's not Seth Rollins. He don't do the same 5-6 moves every match. His that elbow is just one of the most devastating looking things I've ever seen. It looks like some MMA shit. He wrestles aggressively. He cuts great promos, especially when he's able to talk to his native people. Will Ospreay is my favorite wrestler. You know what I mean? There's some other people who are close up there. You know what I mean? Roman Reigns is close up there. Big E, when he was around, was close up there. But, as far as everything is concerned, Will Ospreay's my guy, man. I'm happy he's coming to AEW too. So AEW's got some, they got some, they got some full, you know what I mean? Got a clip over there, man. They ready to dump off, man. They ready to pop, 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 you know what I mean? So WWE, as hot as they are, they got to stay on their toes. You know what I mean? They got to stay on their toes because there's a lot going on. And, who knows what might happen, man. Who knows what might happen. So we'll see. We'll definitely see. What else is going on? People got hurt, man. Shout out to Shotzi Blackheart. Another terrible knee injury. Get well soon. That's horrible. Hate to see that. Jeff Hardy almost got destroyed by Sammy Guevara in a match. That was gruesome. Like landed right on his head. That was just gruesome sight to see right there. Hopefully he's okay. Injury news. What else is out there? There's not much else outside of the stuff that we talked about as far as big stuff. Let's see. I could just update y'all if y'all don't know. Word from AEW is that Jeff Hardy suffered a broken nose last night, but not a concussion. So that's the update. That was 2 or 3 days ago, though. So maybe there's been more updates since then. But broken nose sucks. Definitely don't want to be out there wrestling with a broken nose, doing all the moves that he does. His breathing's probably affected. A lot of things affected. So get well soon, Jeff Hardy. Don't want to see that. Anybody y'all want to talk about Trick Williams is the future? I would go, okay. I hope so. I want to see more guys that I can relate to in those positions. You know what I mean? So I'm cool with it. Yeah, he looks like a star, carries himself like a star. He's like the opposite of Eddie Kingston. You know what I mean? He looks like a main eventer. You know what I mean? He's 6 foot. He looked like he about 6'6". You know what I mean? Out there, 250 pounds. He's a big dude. So I don't see why he couldn't be. You know what I mean? Nobody, expected much from Roman Reigns, even though he was an obvious main eventer, nobody expected much from him for the first 5, 6, however many years they tried to shove him down our throats as a white meat baby face. It was horrible. He was saying "suffer and succotash, son" on the microphone where people could actually hear him, and it was embarrassing. I don't really know, but he's up there. Trick Williams could do his thing, man. He does have good theme music, and he's got a good, the catchphrase is good. The sing along, whoop that trick. Yeah, I get, you know what I mean? And then you have to, it's like not whoop that trick, like trick not getting whooped, but they saying whoop that trick. It's like whoop that, comma, trick. You know what I mean? So I had to make it make sense in my head because I was like, wait a minute. You gonna whoop the trick? That's him. That's okay. But it was the comma, and then I put it together in my head, and it made sense. So, Trick is gonna whoop that, basically, is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? So, I'm rooting for Trick, man. Hopefully, him and Carmelo Hayes do great on the main roster. Dragunov is from NXT has the best elbow strike. Yeah, that shit's nasty too, and he do it to your face, like that's. And then he be doing it from the top rope or the second rope and just mushing you in the face with his. But I don't know. I think I like Ospreay's better. The Judas effect just seems like an accident when it happens. It's just, but I get it. Yeah, it's a cool move too. The Judas effect's the same move basically. It's the elbow strike. But I like Will Ospreay's move better. This tea will not cool down. I put it in a thermos. This shit just still piping hot. Yeah, man. A lot going on SmackDown this weekend or on Raw tomorrow. I'm not sure about any matches that have been announced. Actually, I am. Chad Gable is going to face Ivar tomorrow on Monday Night Raw. That's pretty cool. Oh, this is a story I want to talk about, guys. This is pretty cool. If you're into this guy, or I don't know what their pronouns are. I don't even know what to say about people anymore. I don't even know how to talk. I'm about to stop the show. But I don't even know how to address people. You know what I mean? It's just like, okay. But let's talk about somebody who was recently, I guess, welcome back into the pro wrestling landscape. Someone who gave a heartfelt apology for their transgressions and mistakes that was excommunicated from wrestling landscape for a while because some of the things that he was accused of were absolutely grotesque. And the person I'm talking about, you guys know him, is Velveteen Dream. When he was in NXT Black and Gold, he's one of my favorite characters. As flamboyant as he wasn't Seth Rollins. It was like, but it was more like a Goldust kind of character. Like he was obviously, exuding that feminine, masculine, feminine, the Prince vibe. Like he came out with the purple lights, but he wrestled his ass off, and he had great matches against Adam Cole and all these different people in NXT. And it was just like, that guy's going to the moon. Shawn Michaels gave him the stamp. Triple H loved him. That guy was going to the moon. You know what I mean? Was the NXT North American champion, did his thing. But then got fired from the company because he started doing all this wild stuff. Yeah, I mean, he was getting arrested, and then all these accusations came out from underage boys, and it was just creepy. And he was but then he was like, actually, none of this is true. But trust me, when you go to court and you're a black man and people are accusing you of things, it's almost nothing you could do because you're a black man in a court and people are accusing you of things. So I kind of empathize with him in that light. You know what I mean? But still, when he came out and explained it, because if you don't know, he had a long interview with Chris Van Vliet that was very eye-opening, very well done by Chris Van Vliet. Shout out to Chris Van Vliet, who's been doing some amazing content and interviews. He's done a drop for my channel. He's a great dude. Seems like a great dude. I don't know him personally, but he seems like a great guy. So shout out to Chris Van Vliet. He did an interview with Velveteen Dream, and they basically the interview was about all the cases and all the accusations, and he basically broke down everything, had dates and receipts, and he was just like, I know what they're trying to make it look like, but that ain't it. You know what I mean? And he explained why, and honestly, I believed everything he said. You know what I mean? Because it was just like, why would he lie about, he's showing everybody the receipts, and the way the world works and the internet works and social media works, people are trying to take down celebrities for the weirdest reasons. Now, did he make the mistake of even communicating with someone that's 16, even if he's trying to be a mentor? Probably. In today's climate, yes, you're making a mistake communicating with anybody at this point. You talk to a woman, is a risk. You talk to a boy to try to be a mentor, it's a risk. You talk to a girl trying to be a mentor, it's a risk. You talk to anybody at this point, you might say something or you might be accused of something that you're not doing. So I could empathize with that. I wasn't there. I don't know this, but when somebody come with that many receipts and that type of passionate, heartfelt description of detailed description of things that happen and even their mistakes, and the dude was just so humble and took responsibility and kept putting the blame on himself, and even with his incidents with the police afterwards and all these different things, he took full response. He just seemed really contrite, and he felt bad for his transgressions, but he didn't want nobody accusing him of nothing that he didn't actually do or wasn't actually doing. So I respected that. You know what I mean? So I was like, my whole thing was give him another chance, man. Why not? Get a dude another chance. He was obviously great. But that all brings me to what we're talking about, because he did, in that same interview with Chris Van Vliet, when Chris asked him if he wants to get back in pro wrestling, he was kind of like a little hesitant about it, but he was like, yeah, I want to get back into pro wrestling. You know what I mean? Even if it's just to see if he still loves it or whatever, if I remember that correctly. But he did appear at Dynasty. I'm not sure what that is, but it is a promotion in Albany, New York. On Saturday, he interrupted the opening match and issued an open challenge. In the main event of the show, Dream's open challenge was accepted by American Muscle Alec Odin, who Dream went on to defeat. So he got to wrestle. Obviously, it's an indie show. I'm looking at the video. Clearly, it was, 5 people there. Yeah, it's look like one of the old OVW shows or something. But it is what it is, man. He's willing to start from the ground. I have even more respect for him, because some people would be like, nah, I'm not going to wrestle in a gym with 10, 15 people watching me. I'm not about to, but my man's like, you know what? I put myself in this position. I gotta start from the bottom and crawl back up. So I kind of respect it. I hope that the things that he said were true. You obviously just want to give people the benefit of the doubt sometime, but when it comes to the stuff that he was accused of, it's also like if you did that shit, you should be like, I don't even want to say it because they might, but you already know what I'm thinking. Like, you know what I mean? That's like one of the most grotesque things you could possibly do is mess with, mess with kids. You know what I mean? So he'll be okay. I think he'll get a second chance. He'll maybe get back on a big show. Maybe. Y'all think WWE would rehire him? Triple H, Shawn Michaels would bring him back in because they love this kid, man. Do y'all think they would? Yeah, female. Yeah, she ruined Enzo because he got fired immediately. Yeah, that was tough. Happens all the time, man. Trust me. I know. You know what I mean? It's like it can happen. People just make up stuff. And if you're a male, you know what I mean, it's gonna be tough for you. You know what I mean? If you're a black male, it's gonna be even more tough for you. So, they try and take people down left and right because it's just like believe people before there's any evidence or any. It's like they don't have to have no evidence. Just because they said it, it had to be true. And so, especially in a position of power, like people want to see you fall and take you down. So it's just, it is what it is, man. It's unfortunate that the world works like that and people just can't be honest and real, but it's a lot of bad people out here, man. So hopefully Velveteen Dream's not one of them. And, he didn't have any ill intent with, his interactions with these people. And, he can come out on the other side better for it. So, yeah, man, I think we going to get up out of here. I think I'm going to just stop this stream and then I'm going to just load up another stream so we can watch the All-Star game together because why not? I'm here. You know what I mean? It's quiet. No kid running around making a bunch of noise right now. So, yeah, we'll just cut it right there. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. We got to talk about some wrestling. We'll be back in a few days doing another live stream talking about some more pro wrestling. But yeah, man, we gonna have some fun, man. We're gonna do the live stream for Elimination Chamber. Whatever time in the morning it is, I'm gonna do it. Let me see. Actually, let me look at that. I'll just to make sure I'm not tripping. Let me just make sure. WWE Elimination Chamber. All right, let's see here. Next Saturday. What's the start time, though? What's the start time in the state? Hold on. Oh, yeah, 5 a.m. So I'm going to just go to bed early. You know what I mean? I can go to bed early. I go to bed like 11, midnight, get 4 or 5 hours of sleep. I can wake up and watch a pay-per-view. So I'll be all right. I'm going to definitely go live for Elimination Chamber, man. It should be, whoever's up. I mean, just load up your coffee. You're on the West Coast. That's rough. You're going to have to stay up till 1 and then stay up till 4 o'clock watching the shit. Yeah. I'd rather it be at 5 a.m. This is not that terrible. You know what I mean? It being up. I'm trying to change my schedule to where I'll be waking up at like 6, getting my workouts in and stuff. So that's what I want to start doing anyway. So, this will be an excuse to maybe get that started. So, all right, guys, I'm going to end this stream. I'll be back in like 15 minutes so we can watch the NBA All-Star game. Yep. Holla at your boy. Deuces.